everybody. Thanks for joining us for this week's Wednesday Wonders. My name's Sarah. I will be helping Donna post or with this live. Stacy's on a vacation, which is lovely. So I'll be bringing this broadcast to you. And Donna from DMQuilting is going to be showing us her new Triad Diamond templates. We're very excited to see those. Hopefully there's a handout that's complimentary I put at the top of the post on Facebook. You can also get to it on our So Steady website by visiting the product page, which I will also put in the comment section and on Facebook. And Donna, let's see what you have. I'm so excited.
Well, hi, Sarah. Thank you. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in today. This is really kind of a fun set of templates. You can see here in the cover that we have a total of 7 different ones. And so we're going to be stitching out some of them today. I have prepared a 6-page handout for you. And it is detailed instructions on how to quilt, I think 9 or 10 different block designs. And so there's lots to do with these things. What we're looking at right here now is the covering that comes in the package. This is for the full set. They're also available individually, but I thought it would just be easier rather than to show you all these different pages. And then on the back, we always have the user instruction information and a little bit about how to do some of the designs. But let's take a look here. So let me know, Sarah, if I need to bring the camera down just a little closer. I know that sometimes folks are not able to watch on a laptop, which is always the best with a big screen or desktop, but sometimes that's what we have to do. So this page here, and it's part of the handout that's included, it shows you what the 3 different sizes are. We have 2.5 inches tall, 3.5, and 4.5. Now, the way these templates work, and we'll take a closer look at them in just a moment, but there are 3 different templates for each part of the size. So within the set, there's an A, B, and C. So that's how easy these are to work with. Just remember A, B, and C. And so these are the actual sizes. I like to include that in there because when you're planning your quilt project, it's kind of nice to have a reference point so you can figure out exactly what you're doing. And then our next page goes into the sampler project, which is back here, and we'll take a look at that. So this is the measurements and the block layout and which template goes where and things like that. Then I go into some details of each block. And so they're identified on the cover sheet as what the block is. And then here are the instructions on what to do to achieve the design for that block. So I hope it's pretty straightforward and easy to follow for you. There are lots to do with these different templates, and so there's just kind of like you could go crazy with what you're doing. Any one of these, like here is kind of an argyle type pattern I think of, but this could be done with any one of all of the templates. So I used the C shape for, I think it was the 3.5 inch template, but that could easily be done with all of them. Here, I'm showing how the different pieces lay out and work together. The bottom part, we just use parts of the template. So we'll do some of these and might make a little more sense when we stitch them.
And Donna, I was going to mention to folks, so be sure to comment because we will have giveaways during this broadcast. So if you comment, even just a hello or where you're watching from, we always like to see where you are. I'm going to be giving away some of our imperfect sketch pads. So that'll be nice. And for every 25 shares, we're going to give away a $10 gift card to our So Steady website. So be sure when you're on the post to share it with a friend or everyone on your list. And every 35 shares, we will give away $10 to the website. So keep sharing, keep commenting for more chances to win.
Great. So tell me, Sarah, what does someone need to do in order to win one of the templates?
All they have to do is comment. So be sure if you are on Facebook or if you are watching on YouTube, leave a comment. I see loads are coming in, which is great. And definitely, share, like it, love it. We definitely want folks to know, how popular this is and how much you're enjoying it. So I'll go through and we will pick that winner, and we'll have one big giveaway. We're gonna give away one of these diamond templates, one of these triads. So that'll come later. So be sure to add your comment, and then we'll pick a winner at the end of the broadcast for the big giveaway. But in the meantime, definitely share on Facebook, share as much as you can so we can get up to 25. I think we have one more. So good job, guys. And when you add your comments on Facebook, I'll put the link. Be sure to do it not on the video link, not in the comment section on this live, but on our original post, which is at the very top of our So Steady page. It was posted 2 days ago on June 27th. That's where everyone has left their comments previously. So be sure to add your comments there, and I will put a link to that specific post here in just one moment. And that's we're looking forward to seeing your comments. And if you want to share anything about any particular quilt you're working on that these Triad Diamonds will look fabulous on, post a photo. We love seeing that stuff.
Well, and I think too, if you have any questions about this is a perfect place right here that we can answer. Sarah will read me the question and then we'll try to give you an answer as best we can. Let's bring the camera in just a little bit closer and get some detail on some of these patterns. I don't have a fancy TV studio here, so we have to kind of do it ourselves. This is the pattern right here that you've seen. I had a picture of that posted on Facebook earlier in the week, and so that's the only one you've seen, but all of these others are created using these templates, and it's really just amazing. I know that some of you are very good at straight line stitching with the 12-inch arc or the straightaway or the edge of any other kind of template. But I'm telling you, when you see how these work, it cannot get any easier. So here is a stitched sample of what you get in the 2.5-inch templates. I like to include just a simple little pattern of what a single stitch is, just so you have an idea of what you're looking at. But let's take a look at the 2.5-inch template. Now, it is the one that has 3 different sizes in it. So this is the 2.5-inch template. And if you were to win this template, for example, you would have 3 different shapes that would work all together. This is the A pattern, B pattern, and C pattern. And the others, the 3.5 and 4.5, are individual templates, where these were small enough I could fit them all into one template and you can easily use them. So we have the thread slots to get in and out of, and all of the registration marks that you need to have and know about. So this is the 2.5-inch. And here's where we go into the multiples. But you can see It's A, B, C. So we have A, B, and C. And A, B, and C are always the same shape. It's just different sizes for different templates. In the 2.5, the C shape is the same size as what this is. So if you were adventurous, you could actually kind of layer them and put them together if you wanted to. They're just different sizes, but they're identical shapes. And then we have the bigger ones. Which may not fit on my little fabric here. Turn it sideways and then it will. And these are the 4.5 inch. And that might sound kind of big, but if you wanted to do some all over edge to edge quilting on a quilt, you might want to use these bigger guys because they're going to cover a little bit more territory. And so any one of these designs I'm going to show you today on the sampler can be done with all of these, with the exception of one particular pattern over on the side that uses a combination of the templates, but almost all of them could work with any of the size. So if you see one that you like down here, this one was done with the 2.5 inch, but it could very easily be done with a 4.5. And so it would just be twice that size. You would have more open space. And if you wanted to do some temply, it would be absolutely perfect for that because you would have built-in areas for your reveal. So they're just really kind of fun to work with. Let's get these things out of the way and take a closer look here at what some of these designs are. So you already have the handout, and it has all of these on it. So that one cover page is the sizing and identifies what the blocks are. Now these are upside down, so this would be in your paperwork, block number 1, 2, and 3. And so we can see here, this is done with 4 rotations. This is the same design with 8 rotations, but look how much different it looks. This one gets a little heavy on the inside stitching. So if that's something you do not like to have in your project, you might not want to use the 2.5 inch template for that because of all of that center connection. I kind of like the way it radiates from middle. I think that's kind of pretty at times. Then we come up here and let's place these templates here just so you can see for comparison. Here is the A template, the B template, and then the C. So it's so easy to use these. We have a vertical registrations and horizontal alignment marks. So it's real easy. You don't even need to mark a lot on your quilt. With these having the rotations, of course, you need to have a little bit more markings, but some of these patterns, it's just a straight center line, a horizontal center line. So not a lot of marking is really required. Here now, this next block, so we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4. This would be block number 5 if you're following along with the paperwork. And I'm actually, let me turn it around because we're actually looking at it upside down. Now, that's a little better. So we have here, our patterns are stitched. There's A, B, and C, and they just connect point to point horizontally. And that's fine just as it is. But what I've done is my second row, I've offset halfway. And so you have the measurements shown if you wanted to repeat the same block. Now, if you want to do this and use a different size template, you're going to have to change your spacing just a little bit, but it's real easy to do by measuring this area here And that's what you would need to have different. That's what is here. And so that would change if you go to a larger or smaller template. I didn't give you that information in the handout, only because I ran out of time. So I'm looking here as a question, what is the dimension of block 3? So these are 6-inch by 6-inch blocks, 1, 2, and or across here. These are all 6 inches tall. This is 6 by 8 this way and 6 by 6 this way. So it stitches out a 5-inch pattern using our 2.5-inch template. Of course, now using the 3.5, you're going to get a 7-inch design, and we have twice the height of the template. So if we're having a 4.5-inch, then we're going to have a 9-inch design. So that's just something to know there. And this one over here, we have just taken a simple little pattern. Can be done, like I said, with any of these blocks. This is done with the 3.5, but it is with the C shape on the other template. So right here, we just, in the center of the border or row, whatever we're doing, we would have just a line marked for alignment, and then we travel all the way around. First one, start right here, go all the way around. Slide the template over all the way around. So this would be, I went backwards, 1.5 times. So we can end up at our next location here and then bring the template down and repeat again. Now, when I do an overstitch, meaning the second time or the half pattern, I like to alternate my sides just so it's not real heavy on one side. Sometimes I will do it that way, but what you end up getting is a little bit of a secondary pattern that builds up in there as well. So this is a real simple one. We just simply move on down the line. Now here is a combination. I have two different layouts in this one here, and it is with the large template, the 4.5 inches. And so you can see right here, when I place that up here, we'll bring it down a little bit, how that works. So here is the A on the outside. So having that thread slot makes it so quick and easy. We stop with our needle down at the point and exchange our template. Put in the next one and go 1.5, whatever we need to end up back at one of the points. And then we have our C. When we are doing this particular pattern, you'll notice there is kind of an echo space inside there. So I have the measurements included in the instructions, how much to offset from this center row to this center row, so you can have that built-in space in there. And it really is the same thing. It's just set a little bit lower. And here is a half pattern, which just doesn't go all the way around, goes from point, change template, and the other side, and then here. And it makes a nice little termination for the ends of your blocks. And we could have a border row right along the edge there, and that would finish off the end of that row without having a great big gap in the middle. And then we've done the same thing here with that same 4.5 inch template. So you can see this is only a few sets of the block, and you can see how much area it covers already right there. Here's a 12-inch ruler, And so by placing that on there, it kind of gives you an idea where we are. So this is probably about 14 inches of span across there to accomplish that pattern. And it's really easy to follow because you simply follow your horizontal line as you move the templates along. On the bottom edge, there is a little border. Now this only used the C and B portions of the templates, not all 3 of them, only 2 of them. And this can be done with any combination. You could use A and B, A and C, B and A, however you wanted to. It's kind of up to you to get to play with them how you want. You could alter one set and the next. If you're using the same templates, the same length of template, the 3.5, 4.5, etc., this part is going to come out the same, but what'll change is your width. And you could do wider or narrower or all kinds of stuff. Pretty versatile, I think, for the different patterns that are here. Just simply met at the corner and made an L shape. Could go all the way around the entire block. You could do, let me move my thing over here. You could actually just do only half of the pattern if you wanted to, a narrower edge in sashing or something like that on your quilt project, or the other side. And so you don't always have to use the whole template all the way around. This one down here, I call them flares. I don't know why, that's just kind of what they look like to me. And we use only the bottom portion of the templates. So in the instructions, I show you that by determining where these points are, draw my straight line, and then I marked the spacing. I don't remember exactly what it is according to, I think 2¼ inches, something like that. And then at those points, I used and put my 45 here and here. And that's the only 2 marks that I even needed. When I'm using the template, I use all 3 sizes set on an angle and stitch only the bottom part and change it, and then go to the next one and only the bottom part and the next one. And also it looks like it's going to take a long time to accomplish that, but it doesn't, because you stitch out and back to center on all of these, and then you rotate and do the other portion over here. Stitch your straight line to the next dot and repeat. So that's pretty quick and easy, I think. I don't know what you think. So how are we doing on our comments up there, Sarah? Are you able to run through them and monitor them as we're going?
Yeah, definitely. We did just reach 25 shares. So boom, there is a $10 gift certificate we'll be issuing. And I'll select a winner here in just a moment. So that email us at info@sewsteady.com, and that will allow us and let us know today's date, so we know you were watching the Wednesday Wonders, and say, hey, I won the $10 gift card.
Who was our winner?
Our winner shall be, here we go, it is going to be Susan Nowak Treadwell. So Susan,
great.
Please email us at info@sewsteady. I'll put it in the comments, and let us know, your email address you'd like us to connect your gift card to, and we can issue that your way.
And so what you're going to want to do, that's for the $10 certificate. Our template winner is going to also need to identify which one of the templates. So as we're going through these, keep an eye out and see if you find a favorite. This particular pattern right here is interesting, and I'm not real sure just how well you can see it. This is the one where we use all 3 of the sizes. The outside is 4.5 on the A, and then we have 3.5 on the B right here. And then in the very center is the 2.5 C. This was all done without breaking threads. You can see I started up here and I didn't really pay attention closely enough. I didn't determine where I should have been, but I'm too close to one end than I am at the other. This was all one stitch. So there is some overstitching, but if you don't move the template, then you're able to just go right on top of it and get to where you need to be. The instructions are there for this block. This one now is real pretty when you have multiples of this pattern going across in a row and even offset like here. So this is kind of some crazy stuff, but they're really fun to work with. And who doesn't like diamonds, right? I think we need to pull some fabric out and show you how they work.
Yeah, I want to see these in action. I'm excited. And while you set up really quick, Donna, I'm going to share my screen really quick and just show you, so you can purchase your set of these templates here on our So Steady website. You type the word Triad and it'll come right up. So you can see they come in a set of 7, or you can buy individual sizes. And they create all those unique diamond shapes with this one right here. You get the 3-in-1, which is nice. So that's the smallest 2.5 inch. That's from top to bottom. So there's the little 3 unit, or then the other 6, and then with all combined, so it'd be 7 pieces of acrylic, but for 6, 7, 8, it's like just 9 total diamonds you get when you get the 7-piece set. So definitely a great value to do so much quilting. And now we can see some of that quilting in action.
Let's get some light on the subject here so we can actually see what we're doing and find some fabric. So does anyone have anything particular that maybe we might want to try? Do we want to see how to do this rotation pattern? It's really pretty easy. The main thing I want to show is how these work and how easy they are to just change out and go to the next size. So let's just put some crosshairs down here. I think it's kind of pretty when it's on point as what it is here, but it honestly doesn't matter. So we do need to center because that's where we go back to. And we'll get some markings on there. Now, sometimes I find this orange fabric, I have a little bit of trouble with glare. So if you're seeing that, let me know, Sarah.
Will do.
I'm going to go right in the middle where that center mark was and bring my thread up before I even put the template down there, because that way I can make sure that I'm dead on in the middle. Sometimes if we're working around the template, we can get off a hair, and I don't know, I like to be a little accurate. It doesn't always happen, but I like to have my center be the center, not a big oval out there in the general direction. So let's use our 2.5 inch templates. And honestly, it doesn't matter which one we start with. We'll slide it into position. This is the A, and we can see here at the top, I hope you can see that, the lines. There is registration marks built into the template that shows you where the top of the pattern is, and then vertical center and horizontal center. We're only going to concentrate on the vertical center right now because we're going to go all the way around and right back to center. So it really is pretty easy to do. I like to do an extra stitch in that point just so we make sure we have a point. If you get in a hurry and don't do it, it's not life-shattering. It just helps our points be points. So once we get back to center, we can actually come right up here and do everything we want to with this particular template before we move on. And I can't see where I am. So normally we wouldn't turn it around, but I realized that my camera isn't going to let you see everything in the back if we don't. So these are kind of, when I'm working with them, made me think of the soft squares, but these are true diamonds. They're not square. They are narrower than they are tall. And so the shape kind of resembles that, but it's not. Here we have our vertical mark. We're around the foot in the back, so we just line that up and we're good to go. So we could actually just go right across this way and not add all of the center elements, only use just the outside portion if we wanted to. But while we're right here, let's go ahead and see just how easy it is to bring that over. I'm going to slide it out the slot and turn my template around and slide right back in. Now we're doing the B portion and line it up on our marked line right up here, and we'll repeat. So you can see our tops and bottoms are the points, and that's where we connect. When I'm working with these templates, I always think, man, it's not going to make it, but as long as I'm marked correctly, I land right on my marked point. So let's go ahead now and switch over and do the C portion of that. So you can do all the way around of one or do all three as you go. There's no rule. These all make a full pattern and go back to center, and so it's pretty easy. Now, if I turn my template, I don't know how well you can actually see. This one isn't bad. This is the C template. So we've stitched the A and the C without the B. Let's move over and do the A with the C on the other side. So honestly, just remember ABCs, and that's all there is to this. With these templates, a lot of the times we're so accustomed to going from A to B, but here A and B are completely different size shapes. And so that's where the triad comes in. They are three shapes that work together within each one themselves of the same size. So now let's go and add in our B. So even if we just used part of it without everything there, I don't know how well you can see that. My lighting looks like it's bad. I think that's better. And however much you wanted to on your pattern, you don't even have to have all three of the patterns in there. We could just do a little corner element right there. Let's just do that. What I want to show you how to connect for our next part. So I'm going to run a line, and maybe I'll get it straight. So we can come right out here and do another pattern on this end out here. I want to show you just how easy we can move along. So we have stitched the A and the C, and now we're going to put in the B. I am at center, but in order to move over to this next location, I need to go 1.5 times. So we know how to do that. These are some techniques we've been using for quite a while, how we can travel around in there without having to break threads. Now, if we don't move our template, we should be able to stitch right on top of those previous stitches. So here we are at the beginning of our next point. We just move the template over. All of these sizes work the same way. The different sizes, of course, are going to give you different results. Now, I need to come back over to this location, so that means this end one gets 1.5 times again. And now we'll change sizes. I have too much equipment in the way. I can't see where that is to line up back there. We're going to guess.
And Donna, is there any way to get a little bit closer, perhaps?
In just a second here, Sarah, I'll try that. If I let go of the template, it's all going to change on me. So let's bring the camera down a little more. Let's see if we can tip it up just a little bit. Let's see if that's any better for you.
And Donna, the only other piece would be, I don't know, because you're using a pale thread on that machine right now, right?
Yes, I have light colored thread.
Because that orange is nice and bright, but the contrast isn't super bold. But I'm sure after you're done stitching out, you'll just bring it up close to the camera. Perfect.
With this fabric, it probably wasn't the best one I could have used for this, just because it seems to kind of create that bit of a glare. Let's just go ahead and cut that thread and take it out and look. So turn the lights all off and can't see anything.
That looks great. Someone, oh, that's so classy.
Well, it's a very complex looking design, but it is not difficult to create. You can see how fast it went. I didn't even go all the way around, and here I only used 2 parts of the template. Let's bring it down a little more. And so here, try to adjust these lights for you. And so here, I just used the A and the C. Here was A, B, and C, and then we progressed over and went 1.5 times in order to come to our next location, and then 1.5 times again to complete that. And I did that only so we could add a second element here. It really you know, what I think is really cool is with these templates and the sketch pad, you could really design almost any combination of sizes and elements that you want. So this set of templates has 7 different pieces in the big set, but you know, these are all individual as well. And so
And Donna, someone mentioned, could one create a the diamond plate look with this template?
a diamond plate.
Yeah, like the back of a truck bed, or it's a, you know, a nice, I think that could work really well for like a quilt
Oh,
for the man
just,
in your life that's, you know.
oh, absolutely. You know, just straight one size, side by side. You wouldn't even have to use all of the templates. Any one would do that. You can see here that each of these are narrower than they are tall. And so with that, we have all 3 built into the one for the 2.5, but the 3.5 and 4.5 are single templates. You can use any combination. All 3 of these are the same height as what these are. This one and this one are different. So using them that way, you're going to have some offsetting happen. But other than that, I think that I see the message up there about the diamond plate. I think that would be kind of an interesting look, Sue, and would be interested in seeing how you can come up with that. I haven't played with that part of it, but I think you could easily do that.
And have you played around with the echo guides at all in tandem with these templates?
I don't think, well, the echo guides might be okay for the bigger one. Let's just pull one out here and see. Let's get my black fabric again. That orange is hard to see.
Nice. People, yeah, we're asking just dark fabric. So that'll,
I don't like that orange. Yeah. It doesn't look as bright until you actually get it on camera. I'm not going to do that again. So with the echo guides, let's just put one on here and see. So they increase the size of the foot, and I think that, you know, we're still going to have some differences. So this is the 4.5-inch template. It's going to just drop it down to a smaller size of the same shape. But what we're going to run into is we might have rounded corners. I don't know how pointed they would be, because that echo guide doesn't go all the way down into that point you can see right here. So I'd be willing to give it a try, but it's going to distort our shape slightly. I think as long as you were consistent with it, and if you wanted to use that echo guide, all it's going to do is reduce the overall size of your template, of your stitch area. It's going to make the C real short. It won't even go down all the way. So these were all designed to work with a 1/2-inch foot. And what this is now bigger than that. And so it's not going to fit into those. You could use it, but you would just have to know what you're doing and be consistent with it. They're going to all change the size and the shape slightly, because we're not going to have true diamonds anymore. You can see here as we move it around, it's more of a square. So I think it would be fun to play with.
But definitely to make the designs in your handout, you're going to want to buy the set, because that'll keep, like you said, the shape not distorted, you know, the original, and then they can all work together as designed. But throwing in an echo guide every now and again to change things up and, trying it. With almost all of the Westerly templates, it's always worth picking up some echo guides just to try out.
Oh, I think the echo guides are really great. Sometimes, though, when we are getting into interior parts like this, we have a little bit of trouble getting them to fit together. And, if someone wanted to make, based on the instructions in the handout and do the sampler, of course, if you didn't have the entire set, you only had one whole size, you would just not have quite the size range that we have here. These are 3.5-inch templates down here, where these are the 4.5, but the whole thing could be done the very same way with the 3.5-inch template. And so, of course, if you had the full set of 7 pieces, you could do everything on here and change up your combinations. I even played with this one, flipping it over and stitching in the opposite direction, just a mirror image of that same thing with a 1/4-inch space in the middle on a longer border. And it was really kind of cool. What you do there is increase your size. So there's just all kinds of combinations here that we can do.
And I'm going to share my screen really quick with some folks. So people are asking about the handout. I'm going to show you, because it's throughout the comments on Facebook. It's at the top of the post from yesterday. But also I do want to show, so on our sewsteady.com website, when you visit the product page at Triad Diamond Templates, if you scroll down in the description field right here, you can click the handout to show some of those designs. And this is what that handout looks like. It's 6 pages. It's complimentary. So thank you so much, Donna, for making this educational collateral. It's nice to have, some direction to start. And then from there, clearly the possibilities are endless, which is really great. And I'm thinking we should do a giveaway.
Oh, I'm always about giveaways.
So we are going to give away one of our slightly imperfect sketch pad and design guides. So these right here, so it's a great guide. It's 17 by 22, 25 sheets. We unfortunately had an error in printing, so we have some of these to give away where some of the grid lines aren't quite consistent, but it's a great pad of paper. You can still practice your designs on it. And the back side is just a great piece of blank paper. You can use your stitching line discs to draw things out, test it. That would be a great way to test how the echo guides work in tandem with the Triad Diamonds to see if you like what it creates. So that is definitely a good product. And we are going to give one of those away. And the winner is, drum roll, and it's going to be Kathy Lawson Thompson. So congratulations, Kathy. You can email us at info@sewsteady.com to provide your shipping address, and we can get you our slightly imperfect sketch pad out the door to you. And everyone, don't forget to share the post. So hop onto Facebook and share the post that was done 2 days ago. And every 25 shares will give away another $10 gift card to our Sew Steady website. So we still have, we've already reached 25, but we're not quite yet at 50 shares. So get on there and we can give away another gift card.
Boy, that's a great way. What else can you do? Watch a program and see how to use a template and do your quilting and get a gift certificate at the same time. So it's pretty simple.
And Donna, would you be able to select maybe just one simple design? Do you have any darker fabrics? I know your machine's loaded with a lighter thread. Do you have something, a navy or a deep purple? Because folks were really hoping to see the stitch out happen a little bit more dramatically.
Sure. Let's see what we can do. Do we have any particular pattern or anything in mind? Just kind of how they work?
I think so. No one's specifically.
That was dark enough, I think. Some of these fabrics, they're just so glossy that they reflect the light and bounce it back out. Let's just see how we can do some of them straight across. I like to, let me find something to take a mark with. I like to have an area where we just simply show what the template looks like. And I want to put a mark out here. It's not really any pattern of any sort. Let's move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. That might help. I'm just going to make a mark across here. I think you can see that. And move some lights around. So with our templates, once again, how can you see this okay?
It's much better contrast-wise. The camera needs to refocus here in a second, but color-wise, much better.
Oh, come on, camera. We need to do our magic here and get it to work right.
There we go.
So this is kind of close. We're not really seeing the foot too much. Let's see if we can get it to work now. We can see here our horizontal lines and then vertical lines. And I've got some stable tape kind of covering that one a little bit. You can see where it is, but I can see a good almost ½ inch of that line right there. So that's enough for me. We're going to place it right on our marked line.
And Donna, we did get a suggestion from a viewer suggesting we stitch out the A, the B, the C, and then back to the B to the A side by side on that same line.
That's what I'm getting ready to do.
Nice.
So somebody is reading my mind. I'm going to start on this edge. Now, when we add our second template in for our other shape, we need to be at the top or the bottom. So this is where we'll have to do, in this case, it'll be 1 1/4 pattern so that we can get to where we need to be. But like I always said before, as long as you don't move your hands off that template or move the template, that shouldn't be a problem. I'm real close to the edge, and that's kind of a problem, but we're going to make it work. Sometimes when you're working on the inside of your quilt, you end up near the edge. So this is the A. So we've just completed one full pattern. I'm going to go back to the top here. Now I will change, and let's get rid of those threads and go to the B. Line up on our horizontal marks. And I don't have a vertical, so that I don't have anything down at the bottom to mark or to guide myself. So we go all the way around. I can feel my fabric sliding underneath. This silky stuff happens. And we have 2 parts. Now we'll do our third. So these are straight lines, you know, and like I said earlier, they could be created using a 12-inch arc or straightaway or something else because they're straight lines. But boy, I tell you what, they wouldn't be as fast or easy to do as what this is. I've done a lot of that kind of work, and it's crazy. So here we are now. I'm going to travel back down to my line along my A template just so I can get ready to move it across. I may use my spacing gauge just to make sure I'm not too far over, because I moved that template. Once I'm at my center line, I slide the template over. So if you weren't doing the interior work, you would just simply go 1.5 times and slide. So this is the 2.5 inch template with the 3-in-1. I wish that I could have done that on all of them, but it just wasn't practical for the sizes of them. We have a big 12 by 12 inch template, and that doesn't work too well.
And folks, we're only 11 shares away from another $10 So Steady gift card. So click that share button on our Facebook page, and hopefully we can give away another gift card.
So folks aren't limited to only one share, right? They can share multiple times. So
Oh, yes.
if they've already shared, it's real easy to do it again. Main
Definitely.
thing is to get those numbers in so you can get those awards.
And we had another person comment, instead of the A, B, C all nested within each other, they were wondering if you could do the A, B, C, B, A just next to each other, a single stitch out,
Yes.
like in a train, to see what that looks like.
So we saw what the A looks like. That's our big guy. Let's get back over to center. I don't always use a spacing gauge, but it doesn't hurt. If we're lined up with our vertical line at the point and on our mark line, we should come out right. So let's do our B pattern next. And we'll stick on our straight line. And stop. So the shape of these templates kind of help create a little stopping points for you, the way they line up. It helps. So without any spacing in between them, just A, B, and C, we can have individuals. We looked at those right in the very beginning on the sampler, how they were stitched out just like this. They weren't connected, but showing the individual shapes. Now let's come on over and put in our bigger one, the A, right on the edge. So these are really pretty easy to exchange A to B to C, or even sizes if you're wanting to do that. So let's just cut that thread right here. And you can see how we did that. So all of those were with this one template, and that is the 2.5 inch A, B, and C of the Triad Diamonds.
That looks awesome. That would be a perfect use for definitely any border on any quilt. That would be really nice.
Well, you know, it does really nice borders, but we can come right back and do a second row down across the bottom, and then we would have some bare space in the middle, some negative space, where with the bigger template you'd have a bigger space, of course, and that is still going to be the same size, so it's going to look like we'd have a full diamond in there. If we had some embroidery work, for example, or intricate piecing that we wanted to show off, we could work around some of that. And it's just whatever we can dream up, we can do with these things.
And we are one post away from another gift card for $10 on the Sew Steady site. We're at 49. So,
oh goodness, let's see what
share.
happens over here when we add this. So this is a 2.5 inch template. And if I have my second horizontal line 2.5 inches from that, it will be at center of my next one. So let's see what I can do. I'm going to mark 2.5 inches. I'm using the basic marker. I'm on the 1/2 inch. This is the 1/2, 1, 2, and see if I can get my pen to work. Let's just extend it down a little bit. I noticed that we are at our time, and so we're going to end it quickly here, but let's just show one more little bit of how it might look when we have a double stacking there.
And we have reached 50 shares. So we do have another winner of a $10 gift certificate to our Sew Steady website. And that winner is Marissa Kell. That's Kel. So congratulations, Marissa. Please email us at info@sewsteady.com to claim your $10 Sew Steady gift card.
Well, all of those gift cards can be used toward their purchase of these templates or in another set, right?
Exactly.
So I'm going to put my needle right back in at the point of our first row. If we're doing some edge to edge on this, we probably wouldn't have ended it, but since we cut the thread to see, we have to start all over again. Line up on my horizontal line. So this is what really makes it easy. We're using a 2.5 inch template. And so if we want our spacing of our rows just touching, then we use that same height. And our difference for our horizontal marks is whatever the height of the template is. If we want to offset it and have a space in between, whatever distance we want to add is what we would add to that number. I get that question a lot, like on the winding ways. How do you know where to start the second row? And it really depends on how much spacing do you want between the rows. If you want 1/4 of an inch, then you add that to the overall height of your template. If you want 1/2 inch or 1 inch, then you add that number. So on any of these edge to edge patterns like that, that's kind of the secret for our second row. Do we want them to touch or do we want them spaced? So here, if I had started with my smaller template first, I would not have to come back and overstitch on my A template, but I didn't. We'll do that on our next pattern. So I have to put it back in and travel over to my right hand side so I can get to where I need to be. So we can do half patterns and end up finishing it up. If you don't like the look of it overstitched, then we could come up here and just not do all of it, switch it around and do part of it, but somehow we have to get to that point. Let's just see if this will work. It's going to look a little weird as we're going with it, but it should come out okay in the end. Who knows, we might come up with a new design.
And that's the fun I like with all the templates is you get to, try new things. And, upon looking at them, it's usually very clear what they make. But then when you play around and switch things and start in different spots, you can really create some unique designs.
It looks like we're still going to have a little bit of overstitching just so we can get to that edge. So let's just stop with that and see what happens here. So here we have the negative space in the middle where we could do a different pattern. You could do only, the A or the C inside there if you wanted to change it up a little bit. All kinds of stuff. They're really kind of fun to play with. Sometimes it's just challenging to see what you can come up with.
And Donna, could you show us real quick that marking template that you use just to get your lines? Could you show us that one more time?
Oh, yeah.
I use the basic marker, and this is a DMQuilting tool. And what's so special about it, I think, it's 12 inches. It's not 12 and a half. It has a center line etched and a 45 angle in there. But we have inch marks. One side has full 12 inches. The other side has 0 and goes 6 inches out. This is perfect for deciding your border. You don't have to get out a calculator and decide where is center. You simply place the ends on and have equal numbers wherever, and 0 is going to be your center. But if we turn it this way, we have 1/4 inch spaces or etch lines in between, but our slots are all 1 inch apart, and it's perfect measuring. I have forever had a hard time when I need to do any marking and I need to come along the edge of a ruler. It always seems to buckle over a little bit, and so to get a real straight line, especially with any length, is hard to do. Now this fabric has been already pressed and starched, so it's not quite as flexible. But with this, because of the way it's made, so I'm going to position my mark line I just made right on top of that 1/2 inch indicator. But the way this is made, it's going to hold my fabric down flat. It isn't going to pucker or buckle underneath. And so they are going to be exactly 1 inch spacing between them. If I can draw a line, and you don't have to worry about it. They're always exactly right. This one is perfect. If you like doing any kind of grid work or border work, this is really great because you can get the precision that you need. So this pattern, this 2.5 inch pattern, is 2 inches wide. You could actually come along if you wanted to and put little points where your next pattern would fall and be right there. So this is the basic marker. It's available in 2 sizes. This is the 12 inch by 4 inches, or the 12 by 12, which has 2 sets of rows. It's just like 3 of these put together. So they're pretty cool tools.
And Donna, that pen you're using, that's the Bohin Extra Fine Mechanical Chalk pencil, correct?
Correct.
And that chalk is not iron off, it's a water soluble, right?
It's erasable, but not heat erasable.
Got it. So you'd want to wash it away. Perfect. We had a question come through.
Or just simply, I have a fabric eraser that works on it that I use. So it's something that on this dark fabric like that shows up nicely for you.
Nice.
So,
well, I'm thinking we should do our final giveaway.
I'm kind of thinking so too.
Okay, so just to reiterate, the final giveaway is one of these Triad Diamond templates. You get a pick, so you have 7 different ones you can choose from. And our grand prize winner is Rosemary Lacovara. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly. So, congratulations, Rosemary. You can email us your name, shipping address, and let us know which Triad Diamond you would like and what thickness that you use, low shank, high shank, or long arm, and we can get that shipped out to you. So that was great, Donna. These diamonds, they're so versatile, they're so classic, and they're so class-y. I feel like you could use it in almost any quilt you make.
Well, lots of different ways, I think. I'm kind of excited to get to try it on some different blocks that I have sewn together.
Definitely. And just to let everyone know, so this was a Facebook Live. You can rewatch this video on our Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and click the videos tab and it'll be there. Typically it just posts in chronological order. So tomorrow it'll be there, and then a week from today it'll be a week old, and then you can definitely watch it again. The handout is on our website. So if you wanted that 6-page handout, you can hop on over to sewsteady.com, and I just typed the word Triad into the search menu and it'll be the first, I think is the only thing that pops up. You can go ahead and click on it to check out this DMQuilting. And if you didn't figure that out, DM stands for Donna McCauley, our great designer and teacher that joined us today. And right here, you can see that, you always choose your thickness, and then you can choose solo templates or the full 7-piece set. And down in the description field, if you click right there, you can get that handout that goes over just a few of the designs that Donna showed today, but there is so much more you can get out of these great Triad diamonds. So is there anything else, Donna, you wanted to share with us today?
Well, congratulations to all of the winners. I think this is really kind of fun to see that while you're here right now, you actually get your award issued. And so that's always kind of a fun thing. Sometimes, when it's a post announcement and the person's already gone, it loses the pizzazz. But since we're still here, congratulations to all. And thank you, everyone else, for taking a look at this. If you've not downloaded the instructions, I also have them on my website, the instructions for you, just because I was able to get them there quicker, and we can look forward to your work. I want to see some template work done with some of these. So if you're eager to play with the Triad Diamonds and create a project for us, go ahead and post your photos on the Westerly by Me page if you would like to. That's always really a fun place to see what everyone is doing. So have a great day, and I will see you next week, everyone.
Great. Thanks, Donna. Congratulations, all our winners, and we will see you next week. Happy sewing.